introduce now the first speaker, which is Pieter Bonte, and he's a philosopher, so be aware. He will challenge us with opposing arguments. Authenticity versus doping. A king is a king, only because of not because of merit, but just because of birth. And he is very much against that. His main message is something as a society, we should wake up to the strong undercurrent of talentocratic thinking and think again about how we demonize, for instance, doping sinners. What I extract from this is that he wants to help retarded people by giving them doping. But of course this will be a wrong interpretation, and I invite Pieter to the stage.
Alright, thanks for the intro, and thanks everybody for showing up. It's great to spread ideas, and I hope it may be an inspiring one, or maybe a very depressing one to all the people in the audience who really like to hate doping sinners. So I'm going to try to get you off of that hatred. So because ultimately, if we think that doping is so bad, then why at the same time do we love Popeye? Or for that matter, why do we love Asterix? Or why do we love Spider-Man? It's very strange. Almost all our cartoon heroes we show to our children, they're making fantastic propaganda for doping. So what's the deal here? It seems to be a very strange fact about our culture, and we're very conflicted about how to feel about people taking artificial aids to enhance their performance. So are they heroes or sinners? Well, a lot of people would say that they're against doping because it's unhealthy, right? Well, not necessarily. There's many ways in which you can artificially enhance your body, which are perfectly healthy. This is, for instance, Tommy John surgery, which is gaining traction and popularity, for instance, in baseball, where you strengthen your elbow. You just come out with a stronger elbow, and actually, that might even enhance your health because you're less prone to injury. So there's all kinds of doping techniques that may actually enhance health. And at the same time, we seem to be, again, faced with a curious double standard in our culture, because sport really isn't only about health. Why do we play our games? It's not really just to become a more healthy team player. It's not just about health and morality. It's also about pain, suffering, sacrifice, and taking risks, right? And we allow that. This is an intrinsic part of our game playing, and I'd say that's a good thing. So ultimately, if we allow sometimes extremely ludicrous risks, for instance, we allow people to climb mountains, we allow people to whiz off Alp mountains with their bikes, we allow people to crash into each other on football fields, basketball fields, break their legs. We allow it. If that's your standard of health, well, then all the doping agents that are equally risky, but not more risky, should also be allowed, right? Why the double standard? So that's double standard number one. Double standard number two comes around the corner when we talk about effort. That's another thing you often hear. Doping's bad because you don't have to invest effort anymore. It's the doping that does it for you. Well, again, not necessarily. Even again, to the contrary. If you think about steroids, what do steroids do? They do not grow muscle for you. On the contrary, they actually make you shorten your recuperation time. Steroids allow you to invest more effort. Instead of having to wait 2 days before you can hit the gym again, now you can hit the gym only with 1 day in between gym sessions. So it's actually something that enhances the amount of effort you can invest. And at the same time, we think we appreciate effort in sports. But think about Usain Bolt, Michael Jordan, Lionel Messi, many others. Often, yes, we like the guys who put in effort, who break a sweat, but the guys who break no sweat, who have a natural flair, natural talent, well, we think it's fantastic. If the effortlessness is based in talent, we love them. If the effortlessness would be based in doping, we hate them. Why? Here's the third double standard. People say, well, you know, it's not fair, right? Doping, well, what's the guy in lane number 3 doing? Well, maybe he has extra talent. Is that fair? No, that is absolutely brutally unfair, undeserved birth privilege. That's a kind of an aristocratic way of thinking. He was just born better, so he deserves it? Where does that come from? So if the guy takes doping, maybe, you know, that's unfair, but is it more unfair than talent? And also again, doping can actually enhance fairness. There's a fantastic story in The Secret Race by Tyler Hamilton, who was the lieutenant of Lance Armstrong, where he walks into the doctor's office of Dr. Fuentes, and he sees a fridge, and he sees all sacks of blood, right? And they're all enriched to the same degree. Everybody gets to race with the exact same kind of blood. That's fairness. That's fairness enhancing doping. So, no, if you want fairness, you gotta be pro-doping, maybe. Ultimately, you know, where does this double standard come from? Well, there's 3 very suspect origins. One is Pierre de Coubertin, who started the modern Olympics. He was an aristocrat, and this is what he said: we need to cultivate in the Olympics a religious adoration of the aristocracy, of the natural aristocracy, the true talentocracy. So maybe that's why you're against doping, because you're an aristocrat. Second reason may be that you're, in a sense, still thinking like an animal. That you want to see in sports an evolutionary dynamic being played out. Namely, you want to see who is genetically superior, who has hereditary superiority. That's not moral at all. That's just an animal logic. And the third one, even worse, is a creationist ethic. If you think about the famous sports film Chariots of Fire, well, that's the core ethic there is, well, you know, you should live as you were created. That's your duty to God, and you should not try to remake your nature. Well, that's creationist. I don't see any good reason for this, so I would say allow biotechnology to enrich those who were born less fortunate, and stop glorifying meaningless birth privilege. Thank you.